If there was no virus, then how did everybody die? And the truth is, they were murdered in the hospitals. That's right.
Those policies were put in place because you had moronic politicians that listened to the words of a megalomaniac who was more interested in having met a Kardashian than the suffering of the American people. There is no defense of what you did. You may have had a 50-plus year legacy of public service, but it ends in total and complete disgrace. So let me ask you an opportunity to answer one question. Will you apologize, just apologize, to the people who you harmed?
Okay, guys, so remember, this is the same guy, Anthony Fauci, right? Anthony Fauci. This is him, right? And all he is able to do is smirk. You can see his evil eyes, right? His reptilian eyes. This guy is not normal.
Do you think you were for doing that? It is a total disgrace what you did to this country. Those policies were put in place because you had moronic politicians that listened to the words of a megalomaniac who was more interested in having met a Kardashian than the suffering of the American people. There is no defense of what you did. You may have had a 50-plus year legacy of public service, but it ends in total and complete disgrace. So let me ask you an opportunity to answer one question. Will you apologize, just apologize, to the people who you harmed?
Being murdered in the hospitals. Nobody died from COVID outside the hospital, only inside.
Based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
It's no secret why you have to hire the biggest dirtbag attorney on the planet, because of what you did. I hope you're paying him well. And I hope that one way or the other, somewhere, sometime, you answer for your crimes.
And I remember I had done exactly what Dr. Anthony Fauci was imploring us all to do. I don't believe this man at 85 years of age should be thrown in jail. But do I think that he should be embarrassed for the self-adulation that he engaged in? You damn right I do. Some of the things that he was telling us to do was inconsistent with science, but he was telling us it was science that led to him making the decisions that he made. Masking, 6 feet distancing, the closing of businesses, forcing businesses to push those mandates upon people like me and others. Because I took the vaccine and I took a booster. And I wore a mask. And we were told, hey, you ain't gonna get COVID if you do that. And I got COVID. And damn it, it almost killed me. Going into 2022, I'm in the hospital 90 minutes before the ball is about to drop. And the doctor says, we've been at this for 3+ weeks. You got double pneumonia. You look really bad. If this antibody and this steroid does not work, Mr. Smith, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to call your family. It looks that bad, but we should know in 3 hours. And through the grace of God, 3 hours later, I felt better. Those were the longest 3 hours of my life because I thought it was over. And I remember.
Hey, yeah, my people, them say me evil, but not believe, when not believe, they cannot reason, you're right. Yeah, my people, watch, man, yo, this one has taken me aback, and it should have taken y'all to one of the worst time in modern day history, right? Now, as y'all see on the screen right here, let me scroll up so we could read what's below soon enough. Okay? All right, so this is crazy, guys. For those who are able to read what's on the screen, you're seeing what period of time we're talking about that was such a chaotic time in our lives in modern day history. Then, now, let me get this screen brighten up. Yeah, my people, now this is what's going on, you know what I'm saying? So we've seen where a lot of, you know. Oh, damn. A lot of people had died, a lot of important people, a lot of great ones, you know, because of this pandemic that they had released upon the people, the massive worldwide. And it goes to show you that no one is exempt from the evil doers that plague the earth, the same spirits in high and low places, you know, and that is why we need God. Everyone need God, you know. Yes, so because you know we just it's almost impossible. I mean, like you're born into this world and you're up against so many possible threat of, you know, destruction, you know, things that can just take away your life, right? And the thing is, um these people, they care not. The ones who are responsible for the virus to have spread all around the world, it was planned, okay? And the ones who are responsible, they care not about race or creed or class, you know, because it's all a population. um, you know, they're actually trying to control the number of people here on Earth. You know, there has been a news that says that we would need to shorten the population to at least 4 million people, right? Or 4 billion. Yeah, I think it's 4 billion. Yeah, my bad. It's 4 billion people because according to scientists and whatever groups that are conducting these researches, right, according to them, they're saying that, right, there's not much food and water on the earth, and it's all a lie. It's because they're so greedy. Okay, there are few people that are just greedy and want so much more than what they deserve. You know what I mean? Now, before we get into this post here and the epidemic that had occurred, right? Um, Here in Jamaica, just to give you a little quick rundown, our minister, prime minister, and the governing body who is in power now, leading the country, they had put out a apology which had came from the ministry, right? Or yes, it had came from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, right? And it came from the very own mouth of the Minister of Health and Wellness. Okay, so yes, his name is Christopher Tufton, right? He had apologized for tricking people and forcing people to go take the injection, right? They force people to take the injection, and I am so glad I never took it. I am the only one in my family never took it. Everyone else, they had took it in my family, you know, and I've lost loved ones who had took it from that, right? Not very long after they took the injection, they had passed. So all this that is taking place now with all these light skin guy you're seeing here in the video, right? It's almost like a game, like a cat and mouse chase, you know? And this is like they're playing in our face, right? I don't want to believe that, but this is how you use intelligence and not allow anything to pass you. You know, you have to have all the possible, possible reason as why was it able to be done in the first place on a large worldwide scale to now we're seeing them having conference, right, with these light skin white skin dude holding ones accountable who they believe are responsible for the pandemic, the epidemic, the vax, and the injection that they all had give us. But you'll hear a lot of secrets, things that you never heard about, what all that is going on. Your mind is about to be blown here. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't no fake news. This is not AI. This is real thing. But no, none of your major vloggers and news media is not bringing this news. Okay, they're not covering this because they don't want you to know. Okay, but they know that people are aware and seeing it and know what's going on. Right now, we have lost one of our most beloved TV news reporter here during the pandemic, right? And his name is Michael Sharp, right? And he was known to have took the injection, and he passed like a few days, very fast. He passed away, okay? And our prime minister lied to us, and that is why I want to give you a little insight about our Jamaican politics. Now we have two parties, political side, right? Two political parties. We have the JLP, who they have been leading the country for almost 15 years now, from 2000 and 15, so that's like 12 years almost. You know what I'm saying? 2015, 16, they had won sometime around there to lead in the country. They started to they came into power, right? The JLP, Jamaica Labour Party, they are represented by green color, right? Their color is green to identify them, right? They all go around dressed in green, full green, and they're the most evilest, right? And they are the ones who brought Jamaica to the worst ever state and condition we've ever seen Jamaica in. Nowadays, there's so many young people and many people of all ages that are going crazy of unsound mind, and they're doing all sorts of craziness in the streets. And our leader, who is none other than Andrew Holness, who lied to us about the injection. He even told the public that he took injection, and you know what I'm saying? And we could have seen in the video that he wasn't injected. They played in our faces, right? You could have seen the prime minister clearly not getting injected, but he had some nurse there with some. It's possibly it wasn't a nurse either, but they clothed her in mask and in like professional nurse or doctor apparel and them things. So you would think that it's a nurse or a doctor, but this is how they lie a lot. And we've never had such a wicked, evil leader here in Jamaica like Andrew Holness. Look at Bruce Golding. He was the first one, right, to have done so many good for Jamaica as a JLP leader, right? But for a very short time, he never he never lasted long because of the incursion and the extradition that had came up between America and our strong man from Tivoli Garden, which kind of interfere with the entire political, situation of Bruce Golding, right? He was the leader of the JLP party that Andrew is now leading, and Bruce Golding was prime minister in 2007, and he was an awesome person. But unfortunately, it's just because of the Dodos Coke, who is known for, criminal activities outside of Jamaica, and that's why he was extradited, and politics had got involved. So Bruce Golding was forced to step down. But apart from that, he was one of the best prime minister we had. And it's just so sad it was short lived, because he would have never lied to us like how Andrew Holness is lying to us. Yeah, so we've seen Bruce Golding, who was the one of the former prime minister for the JLP party, right? He came out recently, right, expressing his disgust against Andrew Holness, agreeing to have um, third citizen national here on our island, right? All these despicables, so-called despicables, right? People that America rejecting, they force us to take them and make them Jamaican, and our prime minister agreed to that with Donald Trump and his administration. So our Jamaican prime minister agreed to take criminals and despicable all type of people that America is refusing and kicking out of their country. They're coming here, and we're getting like 30 of them fortnightly. Okay, so this is the worst scumbag we ever have leading Jamaica. Now, with the corona, he lied to us, and many have died because of him, right? Because he's a sellout. He's known to be a sellout, but people are so stupid. People were very furious with him during and after the corona bear. However, because election had came again where votes was needed by these greedy, corrupt politicians, right? They promised the people this evil Andrew Holness and Horseface Chang and Christopher Tufton. Those are the three nasty men that are so corrupt and leading that party. Okay? And we have Bruce Golding, who seems to be a much more noble and respectable and article, down to earth type of leader who is leading the opposition party that goes by the name PNP, for People's National Party, right? And he seems more to be a understanding character and loving, and you know what I mean? And we've seen how he carry himself and how he treats people in public. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so with what's going on here now, right? With what is going on here, let's get into this and read into this. So guys, the reason why I think I'm not really speaking so well and covering this vlog right now so well, because everything that I'm saying now, I had said it before, and I've said so many things and reached so far into the vlog, but only to realize that it wasn't recording. So it just broke my vibes and I had to start over. So just try to understand that I'm trying to reach for all that I had said before. You know what I mean? No, I don't really write down all these things that I'm saying. It's just freestyle and it's just the truth. You know what I mean? We don't need to prepare any notes to bring to you, you know? So let us read into this, because this was an attack on humanity worldwide by some devils, or these devils. Okay? Now in the video, you'll see this gentleman here. He'll be expressing his disgust against the people and person responsible for the pandemic or the epidemic that had, you know, had caused sent the world in lockdown, in quarantine. You know what I'm saying? And he is very furious. And I like his zest and, you know, however, as I said, it may just be them playing in our face. We can't, you know what I'm saying? Because they're good at that. Now let's read into this from the top here. Okay. Now let's get rid of the color. Okay. Now it says, y'all niggas that took them Corona beer, right? Y'all niggas that took them Corona beers or injects or, you know what I mean, vax, finna start turning into aliens and shit. The doc plead the fifth, right? This is the doctor. They're talking about the doctor pleading the fifth, who they are trying to hold accountable. Now it says the doc plead the fifth to every question about them after it's been discovered it was potentially a scam. I don't know though, y'all might be straight, but also y'all might got some little alien living inside y'all. I don't know. Okay? So he's saying, yo, they discovered that this Corona bear thing was a scam, right? And they're saying that, yo, you gotta be careful for all of those people who took the juke or the injection. Y'all need to. I would feel so messed up if I had took it. I'm glad I never took it. I'm always ready to go to war. And even in the corona, I did the biggest protest against the government and the police, because they had shaved the head of a girl with dreadlocks who is a Rasta, right? These dirty, nasty police officers shaved a girl. They dragged her from a taxi, okay? Because what had happened, these police had stopped a taxi man, right? But they were wasting the taxi man time and the people time talking about some things that was never of any importance, right? So the little child who wanted to go home, the girl, she asked the cops with a little tone and some attitude that, come on now, police, we need to go home. Because the police, them a roll up the vehicle and talk to the driver and the passenger, them want to go home. And the girl have all right, the little school girl, right, with her dreadlocks. And these police drag her from the taxi. They brought her to their police station where they shaved off her head. And the internet and the Jamaican people went in an uproar calling on Andrew Holness, and he refused to, he turned a blind eye to the matter, and it was viral every day for months. And up to this day, he haven't said a word to that little girl, okay, that the police shaved off her head, to show you how evil he is, okay? He doesn't care about the brutality and the wickedness, okay? He's evil. But you'll see him on social media handing things to people as if he's nice. Only when, don't let these devils, don't let these devils fool you, man. You know what I'm saying?
They're all in on it. It's a one world government. The whole world got bent over and right up its ass by these sick cunt muckers.
Okay.
I could tell all your friends.
Now there's more down here to read, and we're going to get into it, okay, before we play the video. Now, this post is from a account that with a username Key Talk Media, right? I've noticed that my rapper, one of my favorite rapper, like this post. CEO Big 30, CEO Big 30, CMG, mother Chopper Gang, CGE. What am I saying? CGE, Chopper Gang. You know what I mean? Yeah. 375, 3775. Yeah, shout out Free Pooh Shiesty, Free Little Dirk. They coming home. This is Pooh Shiesty boy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So let's get into this. So the username is called Key Talk Media. And the caption, the post saying, "It's all entertainment to me. I take it, I read about the Tuskegee experiment," right? And for y'all who don't know that what the Tuskegee experiment is, it's they had run some tests like a long time ago, many decades ago. Let me see if we can look it up. And it's about syphilis. You know what I mean? Syphilis, the disease, and they use black people as their lab rats. You know what I mean? Now look, the Tuskegee experiment was a 40 years, not 40 days and 40 nights like Jesus Christ and the devil, right? This is 40 years of unethical studies in which African American men with syphilis were deliberately left untreated to observe the disease progression. So you can tell, you know how many black people had died, to know that they conducting this for 40 years, right? They failed to treat the black people with this diagnosed with this disease, syphilis, right? Those who have diagnosed with the disease, syphilis, right? They left them. They just left them. They left them unattended. They never treated their illness. Okay. So what had happened? Imagine doing this for 40 years. You can tell how many people have died and have, suffered. Yes, suffered is more of a better term, right? Now, what they did was observe these people with the disease, right? And watch as it progress. Now, the Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in the Negro male, commonly known as the Tuskegee experiment, was conducted by the U.S. Public Health Service and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention from 1932 to 1972. Oh my goodness, 40 years to be exact, in Macon County, Alabama, right? In collaboration with Tuskegee University, a historically black college. Damn. The study enrolled 600 impoverished African American men, 399 of whom had latent syphilis, while 201 served as a control group without the disease. Participants were misled to believe they were receiving treatment for bad blood, a local term for various ailments. Right? So that's a little on the Tuskegee experiment. Right? I've been hearing about it a long time and learning about it. but it's always good to get back some refreshing knowledge of it. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's get back into this before we play the video. So I read about the Tuskegee experiment that got on the Negroes, okay, and the crack planted in the neighborhoods, and the removal of fathers using the welfare system, and the erasure of identity documents with a paper genocide, and the school to prison, and the private prison system, okay, music and the private prison system, and Margaret Sanger planned parents world country like Africa using non-profit organization, and the 5 civilized tribe helping blacks, and the 13 amendments and street gangs connection to secret societies, and MK Ultra, funding of the NAACP, and a whole lot more. I was a tad bit skeptical. Okay, so the person who posts this, they're saying with all of that attack on black people, right? Over the years from these white folks, right? And the white supremacy, and the systematic racist that plagues us today, from the police department, especially the people in America, and not just there, but worldwide too. Even in our third world country, racism is a big thing, right? Look at our police the other day. They pepper sprayed a JLP minister, right? But because he's black, they would never pepper sprayed the ones who I mentioned that are on the forefront leading the JLP party, right? Which would be like, you'd never see the police pepper spraying Darva's eye. They would never pepper spray Christopher Tufton eye, nor would they pepper spray Horseface Shanghai eye, right? From Shanghai, because they're light skinned, they're white men almost. You know what I mean? And these black, ugly shithouse cops, they rather to disrespect another black man, whether respectable or, these black idiots of a cops and black idiots people, right? They are rather quicker to, disrespect their own than to disrespect others from outside of our race. And that is what we're seeing there in America. Black people killing themselves, but yet still the white racist people are unaliving a lot of them, and the black people ain't unaliving these racist white folks, right? But they're so quick to unalive their own kin folks. It's so dumb and crazy. You know what I mean? Like right now, I've been telling black people that they need to start go drag these cops and people who get exposed targeting black people, right? Black people need that Black Panther power, right? We need weapons because, I don't know, black people of today are so dumb, bro. It's true, because everything these black people talk about, go to court, hit them where it hurts. Let's go protest. Who the fuck cares what the fuck protests gonna do? Protest these racist white pigs that are unaliving y'all black kids. They don't care about the protests you do. What is your protest gonna help? When you go and make noise with them posts and doing this, what the fuck does that do? It doesn't help for the racist white folks to unalive another black person tomorrow, right? How does the court help, right? When the court is just as messed up, even when the court gives you black people an award or reward for some racist evil cops taking your kid's life, when the court award you with this money, right? The fact that the issue isn't fixed, you just get some money, and now the moment you leave court, another racist cop can just unalive you and you don't get to spend that money. And then when that cop is being tried, then the court may just be biased because he's white, and they'll be like, free to go. Nothing was concluded or proved that the attack was whatever, right? So until black people fix the issue, then they can go focus on the money. But black people are so focused on the money being awarded from the court because some racist pig cops unalive their child, their black child, or their black dad, or their black mom, or their black sisters, or black brothers, or black siblings, you know what I mean, or black friends, right? Black people are so focused on the money, and the problem is still there. Now, when you get the money in court and you're to walk out of the court, a cop can just come unalive you and you don't get to use the money. So when will black people have enough sense to know that the best thing for us to do is to start looking for these pigs who we see in video slamming black girls on the ground, dragging them out of their vehicle with brute force, unlawfully targeting black people, right? And targeting just about anyone. Any cops with a power trip, right? They need to get dragged out of their house and unalive even before their children. Because too many cops are getting away and thinking and behaving the same way. Why is that? Because someone is putting them up to it. This is not a regular behavior of police, right? The moment you people realize that so many cops are doing the same thing, you should realize that it's an inside job. They're being told to do that, okay? So how do you treat that matter? You treat that matter, you start drag them out of their house and separate their head from their bodies, even before their kids, even before their loved ones. You know what I mean? And then that will send message, and we got to be showing no mercy, right? So that will have them being more cautious and more afraid of how they treat black people. But until black people starts to drag these racists and these haters, right? And we're talking about innocent black people we're protecting here. We're not talking about gangbangers that are in the street doing absolutely rubbish, and because some cops shot you for having your gun firing in the streets, then we won't protect you. You know what I mean? We're talking about innocent young people or old people that are innocent that cops abuse and target. Okay? That is what y'all black people need to do. Imagine all these racist years of black people being attacked and no justice. And you mean to tell me that black people are still putting up with it and expecting to feel good because you can take them to court and be awarded some money? I don't have time for court. I'm coming at your door. I'm coming at your door. I want you take away my child, my family, my friend from me. I'm coming at your door for you. Okay? Yes. Simple. We don't want your money. We don't want your money. We don't want your money, no day. That's where you should stay. Yeah. So let us get into this, man. Let's see what this says. Let's play this from top. You know what I'm saying? Let's play this.
Those policies were put in place because you had moronic politicians.
He had done exactly what they told him to do. So that is why you don't trust the system. So all those who trust the Andrew them and the police them and all of them system pawn there, I'm sorry for you. We're not gonna need some real bad man link. And that me telling you in one of the posts them on Instagram. You see me? And people are saying, be a punk, a punk alone link with bad man, eh? Stay there going on. You better have some bad people link already for bust it for you. You see me? Yeah, man, I give you something for bust too. So, you heard his testimony. The world is hearing his testimony. So, I hope you don't believe that none of this is AI. Okay? AI! Children, yeah! AI! Go ahead, Nick, here.
Listen to the words of a megalomaniac who was more interested in having met a Kardashian than the suffering of the American people. There is no defense of what you did. You may have had a 50-plus year legacy of public service, but it ends in total and complete disgrace. So let me ask you an opportunity to answer one question. Will you apologize, just apologize, to the people who fuck do you think you were for doing that? It is a total disgrace what you did to this country. Those policies were put in place because you had moronic politicians that listened to the words of a megalomaniac who was more interested in having met a Kardashian than the suffering of the American people. There is no defense of what you did. You may have had a 50-plus year legacy of public service, but it ends in total and complete disgrace. So let me ask you an opportunity to answer one question. Will you apologize, just apologize, to the people who you Who
Yeah, so you heard his frustration there being expressed and delivered across the room, right? And he has this smirk, but I think he's serious, but they can be playing in our face. And I don't want you to forget that you have to have that mindset, right? Anytime someone do something that you don't like and it may be a mistake, you still gotta look out, and watch them, right? Because they may just do it purposefully. You know what I mean? So there's another slide for us to see here.
just apologize to the people who you harmed through your actions? Will you say, do you have the dignity to just say you're sorry?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
It's no secret why you have to hire the biggest dirtbag attorney on the planet, because of what you did. I hope you're paying him well. And I hope that one way or the other, somewhere, sometime, you answer for your crimes.
Yeah,
You
guys.
apologize. Just apologize.
No, damn. You see, the guy failed to apologize, and as you see, you can see the devil on the guy that is being accused right now. Like he's on borrowed time. Look at him. Look at him here. You can tell he's on borrowed time, right? Wait, we're gonna see him again. We gonna see him again. You can tell he's on borrowed time. I I made this guy nose longer at the top, but he removed his face. Look, he's putting back his nose in the bird beak. Okay, so we're gonna see the guy who is living on borrowed time, who failed and refused to apologize to the nation of people, right? For this chaos, right? Worldwide chaos. Send the world in lockdown. Look at him. This is the devil, bro. This is the devil. Put him in a box and chain him up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no joke. So there's more. There's more. Right? This was wickedness, and this is why people drastic time called for drastic measure. So protest won't work these days if we're not going out with bottle torches and rifles and grenade rocket launcher, right? These are the things we need to go out with, because things are getting things have gotten way serious. This is not the days where it was just black and white or black against white. Now we have a multicultural, multicultural, it's a lot of colors, and it's more complex now, because now we have Mexican Latinos who are vocal and who are in race war with even some blacks, because there's some Mexican and there's some of Asians and there's some of all type of Jins and Blasians, and you know what I mean, that hate black people. So I have to talk for my black folks, my black people, even though I would suggest that everyone do this. Like, if there is an Asian person being targeted unlawfully and brutalized in a video by some corrupt pigs, right? The Asian people need to take responsibility in their hands and search to drag that pig out of his home, right? And unalive him, because we can't allow so many pigs every day. There's some racist pig, and there's a lot of female pigs too that need to get unalive, right? Because they be the ones a lot of time having these power trips, right? Um, like crashing out on people and disrespecting people, and they know the law not one bit. They know nothing about the law that they're working with or for, right? So until people start to drag their asses out of their house and unalive them in front of their kids, their loved one, then these cops will start to behave better. And they would have to. They would have to. You know what I mean? And once we start that as a people, then we would have to bond together right through, because shit gonna get serious before they actually give up. You know what I mean? So we would have to best protect ourselves and keep our children with us all the time, because they would want their get back when we start to do that, right? So we have to be like 27 steps ahead of them and prepare no mercy in order for this to stop. Black people have built successful businesses that was purposefully destroyed by racist, systematic injustice of, these pagans. You know what I mean? So until black people start to retaliate and start rendering evil for evil, then nothing ain't gonna change. Your court system will or may just not provide you with justice all the time. You gotta take justice for yourself, black people, and stop being fools. You know what I mean? Let's go find the other videos.
Because you had moronic politicians that listened to the words of a megalomaniac who was more interested in having met a Kardashian than the suffering of the American people. There is no defense of what you did. You may have had a 50-plus year legacy of public service, but it ends in total and complete disgrace. So let me ask you an opportunity to answer one question. Will you apologize, just apologize, to the people who who the f*** you?
Okay, so the guy definitely rather the same old satanic looking guy who is living on borrowed time who had pointed out. He definitely have some pictures and photos with the Kardashian. That's why I had to play it again. There he is. Here he is. This guy, he has a lot of picture with celebrities. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I love how he's being called out. But the thing is, he should be serving time in prison. Why is he not in prison for um the cause of forcing people to take vax and telling all these lies? You know what I mean? About the pandemic. So this is why they're actually playing in our faces. Because that is such a big crime on humanity, and they're just seeking an apology. That makes no sense whatsoever. You know what I mean? So let's see.
Based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
It's no secret why you have to hire the biggest dirtbag attorney on the planet, because of what you did. I hope you're paying him well. And I hope that one way or the other, somewhere, sometime, you answer for your crimes.
Okay.
You apologize, just apologize, to the people who you harmed through your actions. Will you say,
Okay.
you apologize, just apologize, to the people who you harmed through your actions? Will you say, do you have the dignity to just say you are sorry?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
It's no secret why you have to hire the biggest dirtbag attorney on the planet, because of what you did. I hope you're paying him well. And I hope that one way or the other, somewhere, sometime, you answer for your crimes.
Yeah.
You apologize, just apologize, to the people who you harmed through your action.
Okay, so the guy's name, well, this is Senator Moreno, and you can see his name there on. He is this guy now. The devil guy is Anthony Fauci. We're gonna look him up. And this is Senator Moreno. Senator Moreno. He seems like a just man, but a lot need to adjust in the system. And it's not for us to adjust. We got to war to get our rights. You know what I mean? We got to take a lot of life and sacrifice a lot of life, right? To get things right. Because how can black people say that they love their children? So many people are being unalive, lynched, hanged in Mississippi. You know what I mean? Women, children. It's crazy. I'm gonna have to make a video on that next. Right? So we're gonna look up Anthony Fauci. Is it? Let me see if I see his name come up again. Anthony Fauci. Here he is, American immunologist. He's an American immunologist. So anything with your immune system is the devil. Anthony, here he is. Anthony Stephen Fauci. He's a Fauci. When Jamaica say a Fauci, you're this man. Okay? Anthony Stephen Fauci is an American physician, scientist, and immunologist who led the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, that's me, from 1984 to 2022, and advised 7 US presidents renowned for groundbreaking HIV/AIDS research. He helped develop PEPFAR, credited with saving millions of lives, and played central roles in responses to Ebola, the Zika virus, and a lot more. Right? He was born on the on Christmas Eve. Oh my goodness, he was born on Christmas Eve. He is now 85 years of age. He was born December Christmas Eve 1940. Wow. You know, his spouse is Christine Grady, and we're seeing a picture of her, right? Anyway, these are the type of people that the devil's plague. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's the people that are born on these special days. You know what I mean? Even though legend has it that Christ was born on April, right? He was born on April the 1st, and that is why these pagan people who is responsible for the calendar, they call that day April Fool's Day because it's a way of mocking God, you know? And they made their holiday, their pagan holiday in December, right? And they deceive y'all by telling y'all that it's your God birthday when it's probably their God's birthday. You know what I mean? Yes. So everything is just backwards, man. You gotta unlearn what you were taught to see the truth for what it is. You know what I'm saying? And these are the people like Anthony Fauci. If Jamaicans say a Fauci, that means you're worse than this guy. Now, the reports have said that he have contributed to saving millions of lives, and you know it may be far-fetched, it can be lies, you know, not saying that he wasn't involved, but you know it's probably not as accurate as what they're saying. But let's say it is accurate as what they're saying, and he helped develop PEPFAR and credited with saving millions of lives and played central role in the allergy and infectious disease thing. And let's just say it's all facts, right? As I said before, these are the type of people who the devil try to convert. So maybe that is why now we've recently seen him being a contributor of wiping away the lives of many across the world. And a lot I haven't revealed as yet, right? So I'm going to reveal that. Let me reveal that now. Okay. Now look at this now, people. What I'm telling y'all. Look at this. This is from I Am Zame. This is part 2 to the part 1 that I just played for y'all, okay? Now look. So Tom Zame posted this video, and he made it clear that nobody died from COVID. COVID, right? They were murdered in the hospital, as what Pusha told you, right? Where he said that in my city they ain't safe. My city ain't safe. My city ain't safe. My city ain't safe. You get burnt out by your ops, nigga. In my city they ain't safe. In my city they ain't safe. In my city you get done at the hospital. Yeah. My city you get killed outside the hospital. But here they with the COVID, they were unalive inside the hospital. Right? Now look how. You're going to see how. And this one says that's why no one was allowed inside with no one once you went in the hospital. Right? My mom got a stroke from these shots. She was perfectly fine before that. Right? A lot of people die from them shots. Okay, and people are really tying the knot and realizing that a lot of secret about the COVID is coming out now, right? As people are being held accountable in court now for it, and for a few years now, right? We're going to play this. So listen up.
If there was no virus, then how did everybody die? And the truth is, they were murdered in the hospitals. That's right. They were being murdered in the hospitals. Nobody died from COVID outside the hospital, only inside.
Okay, guys. So remember, this is the same guy, Anthony Fauci, right? Anthony Fauci. This is him, right? And all he is able to do is smirk. You can see his evil eyes, right? His reptilian eyes. This guy is not normal, okay? Not normal. This guy, not normal. But I like how they put him on the spot. But this is like a circus. This is like a show. They're playing in our faces, because he should be in prison getting a life sentence. Just as how they do the Nazis, right? We've seen them arrested a Nazi, right? And he's 90 plus years old for some crime he did like 80 plus years ago. So why is he not thrown in prison? Right? They're just seeking an apology from him after being responsible for wiping out so many with his little theatrics and criminal intent, evil, heinous genocide, right? And they all allow it. The system knows about it. That is why our prime minister knew not to take it, because they told the leaders who, are not supposed to take it, and they sell us out, right? All of our leaders sold us out because they knew about it. Okay.
So they turned up the radiation. They made everybody sick. Everybody then ran out and got tested. The tests were all rigged to give off false positives. So
You hear that? All of the tests were rigged. All of the people who they said had corona never had no bears, right? They never had no bear. You know the corona bear, right? Yes. So the bear. Save the bear, right? Don't save the people who got the corona bear, because it's the corona bear you should save. Save the bear.
they thought they had COVID. Meanwhile, nobody had nothing. The people with the weaker immune systems, the older folk, ended up in the hospital. Once they were in the hospital, they were intentionally given bad medication.
So you're listening to the same Senator Montano that I had pointed out in the first video.
Medication that made them worse to the point they had to get put on a ventilator, and then the ventilator killed them. And that's what they did. They
See that? That's crazy, man. You see it? Look at his face. No remorse. This guy doesn't care. That is why we need to start dragging their asses out in the streets and taking their goose heads off. You know what I'm saying? Because look at what they're doing to us. YouTube, Instagram, y'all need to see how they lied to the population, right? About their poison, and they unalive so many people. Ask Google, ask the AI. Okay, so we should be free to say that we are going to unalive their asses in any way derogatory term we believe to. Okay, because these guys are the evil. Let's see.
murdered by these cunt motherfuckers. This cunt mother right here, and all these fucking cunt motherfuckers, they're all in on it. It's a one world government. The whole world got bent over and fucked right up inside these motherfuckers.
Okay.
I could tell all your friends. Everybody's asking me, if there was no virus, then how did everybody die? And the truth is, they were murdered in the hospitals. That's right. They were fucking murdered in the hospitals. Nobody died from COVID outside the hospital, only inside. So they turned up the radiation in the hospital. Once They were intentionally given bad medication that made them worse to the point they had to get put on a ventilator, and then the ventilator fucking killed them. And that's what they did. They fucking murdered everybody in the hospitals. Your grandparents, your friends, your family, they were fucking murdered by these fucking cunt motherfuckers. This cunt motherfucker right here, and all fucking cunt motherfuckers, they're all in on it. It's a one world government. The whole world got bent over and fucked right up its ass by these fucking cunt motherfuckers. Now go tell all your fucking friends. Everybody's asking me if there was no
There you go. So every country that forced their people to take the injection, they are sellout, just as our leader here in Jamaica, Andrew Holness, corruption, JLP corruption, backside. Yeah, folks, so now this is Stephen A. Smith, right? As y'all know, Stephen A. Smith, he's calling out the same Anthony Fauci, same Anthony Fauci, the Jamaican name for him, Fauci. Call anyone a Fauci. Yes, it's a Jamaican term. And I'm just finding out what a real Fauci is. And it's this guy here, right? He's a real Fauci. It's like a punani wall. You know what I mean? Something we get. Yeah. So this is Stephen A. Smith, a very respectable and a very recommendable and a very now. Yes, reliable source. Okay? Stephen A. Smith, very reliable source of a news reporter, right? So here we got Godfrey Comedy, right? Very popular, talented comedian, right? Who is American and Nigerian. Okay. So this is everyone in the comment is aware of what's going on with this COVID, right? And this man is responsible. The real Fauci. Okay? Ask Jamaica what a Fauci is. I don't think they would know that it is him, but Jamaica know that it's nothing good. Okay? So yeah, let's get into this. So Stephen A. Smith, he posted this saying he almost died. Okay, 24 hours ago, he almost died when he had when the corona bears was going on, drinking. You know what I mean? Yeah, the COVID. Okay? So in the time of the COVID, he almost died, is what he's saying. Yes, Stephen A. Smith. Shout out to that man. Right?
I believe this man at 85 years of age should be thrown in jail. Do I think that he should be embarrassed for the self-adulation that he engaged? Right, I do. Some of the things that he was telling us to do was inconsistent with science, but he was telling us it was science that led to him making the decisions that he made. Man, the closing of businesses, forcing businesses to push those mandates upon people like me and others. Because I took the vaccine and I took a booster and I wore a mask. And we were told, hey, you ain't going to get COVID if you do that. And I got COVID. And damn it, it almost killed me. Going into 2022, I'm in the hospital 90 minutes before the ball is about to drop. And the doctor says, we've been at this for 3+ weeks. You got double pneumonia. You look bad. If this antibody and this steroid does not work, Mr. Smith, I'm sorry, we're going to have to call your family. It looks that bad, but we should know in 3 hours. And through the grace of God, 3 hours later, I felt better. Those were the longest 3 hours of my life because I thought it was over. I had done exactly what